We welcome you to the Phoenix International Raceway and the 3Amigos Tequila 125. I'm Mike Hogwood along with Bill Parsons on what is a really nice afternoon for racing here.
Mike, just perfect weather. You can see 65 degrees, very little wind. And Jim Trado on pit road is caught up with our pole sitter.
Breaking his own track record in qualifying, Greg Pursley puts on one heck of a lap to lower his track record here, set in April of 2009. And Greg, what does that equate to? That fast lap was awfully strong.
Yeah, Gene Press Motorsports, Star Nursery Ford was excellent. We struggled a little bit qualifying, but they put the setup back under what we had here in the spring and kind of put in there what we thought would be good and went out there. I'll tell you what, the second place guy here, Tom Dyer, he went out and broke track record in front of us, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now the pressure's on. So we went out there and laid down a good lap, and here we go.
You had a strong run here in April, but what will it mean if you can put it together to win here at PIR, your favorite racetrack?
Yeah, that'd mean more than anything. That'd mean we've been second and third here so many times in the old Southwest Tour and here in the West Car, and hopefully we can put it all together and be there at the end tonight.
Bill, you talk to every driver. They are excited about racing on this big track.
Boy, they sure are. Greg Pursley is one of the guys that will do double duty on this 1 mile oval. Pretty unique racetrack here.
40 cars will make up the starting field here. A distance of 125 laps. And it has always provided us with a lot of excitement here in this series.
Huge point lead for Eric Holmes. All he has to do is crank the engine and take the green flag, and his third championship is his.
Says he's not going to be careful today. He's going to go all out. He won this race here earlier in the year. This is the second visit of the season here. And we are ready to get this 3Amigos Tequila 125 underway. Cars out on the track now, and as we mentioned, Greg Pursley will start out on the pole. David Mayhew in row 2.
Eddie McDonald all the way out west from Connecticut, Massachusetts.
How about Michael Waltrip, 55 car here tonight?
Yeah, Michael making his second start ever in the West Series. He's 1 for 1. He won at Pikes Peak back in '97.
Well, there are 40 cars, so we have a lot more drivers than just what we regularly see here in the West Series.
Yeah, we have Eddie McDonald, Ty Dillon from back east.
Andrew Ranger we just saw, who has been a part-time runner mostly on road courses.
Actually won a race out here at Infineon and also won back east on the road course as well.
Some good drivers back in the pack a bit. You saw Moses Smith on row 14.
Yeah, there's Michael Self back on row number 15.
Robbie Brand, former full-time competitor in this series. Justin Funkhauser's run a number of races in this series. Carl Haar, a veteran, got a provisional start back on row 20, and that'll make up the 40-car field here. We're ready to go. You know, you say these guys need to be careful, but careful is not a word that we've used in the past at this racetrack.
That's for sure. 125 laps here, though, was a long way. They're only going to be allowed to change right side tires one time.
So you got to be a little careful. A little tire management comes into play. The green is out. We're underway, and a good start for Greg Pursley in that 26.
See David Mayhew in a side-by-side battle for second with Tom Dyer. What a great year David Mayhew's had.
Pursley out in front says he loves this track more than any other. His team is actually based here in Arizona now.
Eddie McDonald moves up into the 4th position. You know, this is similar to Loudon, and Eddie McDonald has 3 wins at Loudon back in the East.
Phil, let's talk about a driver getting around this racetrack. For these guys, it's obviously bigger than any track they race on. How tough is it to adjust to a big track like this?
This racetrack really races like a short track because of the flat corners, a little bit different corners each end of the racetrack. But the thing that these guys aren't used to is the aerodynamics that are involved. When you're running 155 miles an hour at the end of the straightaway, when you enter these corners, aerodynamics really come into play there. You get underneath somebody, you lose air off that rear spoiler, and at 130-40 miles an hour, you need that rear downforce. That's something these guys have to get used to. Oh, trouble already for Gary Lewis.
Gary Lewis, a lot of smoke from the rear of that car. He is in trouble early, and the big question now is how much oil did he put down on the racetrack? The yellow is out here just 3 laps into the race, and our pole sitter Greg Pursley had a really comfortable lead. Tom Dyer running second, then it's Mayhew, McDonald, and Dusty Davis, our top 5 here in Phoenix. Back at the 3Amigos Tequila 125. After 9 laps, Persley the pole sitter, the leader. And how about Tom Dyer? What a good start to the race for Tom.
Yeah, Tom's been very, very fast the entire time. He's normally known as a road racer.
A couple of road racers in this race, Dyer, Andrew Ranger. I would think that this is the kind of race where if you want to prove yourself on an oval, you want to get some oval experience, this series and this racetrack is a good way to do it.
Yeah, and what better way to do it when you have the Truck Series competitors here, you have the Nationwide competitors, as well as the Cup competitors here, all on the same racetrack on the same weekend.
You see that 70 car in the middle of your screen? That is Eddie McDonald. Watch out for him here tonight. That's a battle for 4th with Justin Johnson out of Las Vegas in that 97 car.
Dusty Davis, teammate to Justin Johnson, right behind in the 94 car.
17 of David Mayhew, very strong, but Greg Persley setting the pace here.
Doug George, a former longtime West Series competitor, is actually working with that Vision Airlines operation for Dusty Davis and Justin Johnson. There's Michael Waltrip on the outside of Ty Dillon. Michael's in the 55 car, Ty in the 31 car.
Well, you notice Ty's car, it's the 3 car, and they got a little piece of tape to make it the 31.
No, I think it actually has a legitimate number 31.
No, it is a legitimate 31, but normally when you see Ty Dillon, he's been running that 3 car in the East Series.
Had a lot of success, won a couple ARCA races, and looking to run full-time next year in the ARCA Racing Series. There's Brendan Newberry on the inside of Jeff Berkshire. That's a great battle for the 10th spot. And there's our champion, the 20 car of Eric Holmes, right behind him in the Napa car.
Yeah, Eric Holmes, we mentioned this. All he had to do was start the race here tonight, and he was the champion. So congratulations to Eric Holmes on a championship, and now he can just set his sights on winning the race.
Well, there's no better way to come here and not have to worry about points and just go out there and try to win this thing. But what a competitive field we have here. That's Luis Martinez Jr., the 6th car right behind Eric Holmes.
Eric Holmes, again, he won this race when they came here earlier this season.
5 wins in 11 races for Eric Holmes. You wonder how you win a championship? Do it that way.
And he's been strong at Phoenix. 3 top 5s in 6 starts at this racetrack for Eric Holmes. 5 wins in a short season like this is just amazing.
What an incredible season for Eric Holmes. That's the most wins he's ever had in a season. And he would love to finish that off with another one here. He's won 3 of the last 4 coming into this race.
Jeff Berkshire right in front of him in that 46 car. And Jeff has made some noise in this series in years past. Part-time competitor now. And if you're going to pick a race to run, this is one that they all want to pick to run in.
Yeah, without a doubt. In a huge field of cars here. I think this is probably the largest field of cars we had the entire year. We actually had in excess of 40 cars here.
It's unusual that in this series you have to actually send some cars home. That's a Bill McAnally car that Eric Holmes obviously is racing, and Bill McAnally proud of his championship, and he's got Michael Waltrip in this race here tonight.
In a 4th car, in that 55 car, we saw Michael a little bit earlier racing with Ty Dillon. I know he was excited to be here. He doesn't get to do a whole lot of racing. He does mostly television with me and other people, but whenever he gets in a race car, he's on it.
But a racer's a racer. No, there's more trouble. That is Jamie Dick in the 88. Smoke coming out his car. Boy, he is laying some oil down on this track. You're going to have to throw the yellow. They do. Caution is out after 17 laps. But oh, Greg Persley here in Phoenix so far.